Poppy Playtime has one of the most interesting timelines in gaming history. Each popular Playtime toy was created with a very sinister yet brilliant design. Only by going over the history of these Playtime toys can we understand the true secrets being kept by the company. We are told that in 1950, Playtime Co. rolled out a new toy called Poppy. The red-haired doll with big eyes and pigtails looked like your average porcelain doll. Poppy was marketed as being able to talk with her owners while providing intelligent answers. In her ad, Poppy clearly mentions that she's not different from a regular human girl. One may think that it's just a voice line, but the ad cuts into a clip of a scientist pulling a blood-covered voice box. Ludwig's Poppy could talk in 1950 when technology was rudimentary at best. But how did he pull it off? A high-tech toy like Poppy couldn't have been possible with 30s cutting-edge technology. It's theorized that Playtime Co.'s owner had lost his sanity while experimenting with poppy flowers, leading to the creation of the sentient doll. The creator of Playtime Co., Elliot Ludwig, underwent a personal tragedy that motivated him to spread happiness among children. Papers found in Ludwig's office revealed his interest in poppy flower, a substance used in making opium. Experiment 814 files revealed that Ludwig was testing the effects of a poppy flower on live rats. Through that experiment, he had established that it had life-altering properties. The paper ends with a horrible teaser by Ludwig, suggesting that something bigger than a rat is needed to test the poppy flower's full capabilities. It seems that after almost 100 experiments, Ludwig was successful as Poppy hit the store shelves. It is believed that Ludwig's descent into madness was driven by the death of his adopted daughter, whom he wanted to revive using poppy flower. Experiment 814 was the first step towards achieving his goal. While it's pretty crazy, one may sympathize with Ludwig, but the experiments didn't stop at Poppy. In the 80s, the scientists pushed their luck with Experiment 1006, also known as the prototype. The prototype ended up being more than just a sentient toy, which didn't work in Playtime's favor. 1006 was violent, malicious, and too good at manipulating and operating machines. It was also the first experiment other than Poppy that didn't need food or nourishment to survive. He's smart enough to create a laser pointer from scratch and familiar with Playtime security systems. This sentience suggests that the prototype was either a smart child or a much older subject. Instead of experimenting on a child like in Poppy's case, the prototype could have been an adult before the experiments began. It could have been a fluke as well, or a crazy theory suggests that Ludwig may be the prototype. Chapter 1 ends with the player finding Poppy locked in a glass case. Remember who locked her inside during the Hour of Joy? The prototype. While the other toys suffered injuries, 1006 kept Poppy safe for unknown reasons. That's not all. Ludwig's VHS shows a kind man who wanted to make kids happy. It's unlike him to turn a dead child into a toy for the sake of bringing an adopted daughter back. To top it all, it has also been theorized that the prototype sticks dead toys to his body in order to keep them alive since he doesn't need food to survive.
The others are hungry. The others are starving.
It's possible that Ludwig retained some memories after turning into the prototype and used his knowledge to release the toys. This theory is consistent with the one that states that the initial analysis of Experiment 814 was authorized by the Doctor, or better known as Harley Sawyer, and we know that Ludwig never wanted to be a part of Playtime Co.'s murderous plans. Thinking that 1006 was dangerous and useless, Playtime moved on to the next experiment, which was Brawn, but this one came with a twist. By 1960, after hundreds of failed experiments, Playtime had mastered the art of turning a child into a toy. Thomas Clark, a Playtime Co-employee who had been diagnosed with lung cancer, volunteered to be a toy. This led to the creation of Brawn in 1960, but unfortunately, Brawn didn't get along too well with the other toys. As a result, he was left in a solitary cell where he was safe but lonely. This was the time when Playtime Co.'s sales had gone down and talking dolls were no longer exciting. To resolve this, Harley Sawyer suggested manufacturing larger toys that were closer to humans. To do that, they launched Playcare, an in-house orphanage. Playcare was intended to be a safe space for children to learn, play, and live like normal kids, despite it being a prison for subjects. To make this horrible place appear normal, Playtime needed teachers for the school. While it's not confirmed when Miss Delight was launched, we believe that it was around the same time as Playcare, or maybe even before that. Miss Delight was an anatomy teacher, which confirms that she had to exist when Playcare was launched. Second, when we first hear her in Chapter 3, she immediately makes it clear that she recognizes us from the Playtime factory, a confirmation that she could have existed for as long as Brawn and Poppy. During the Hour of Joy, Miss Delight was locked in one of the rooms and only escaped when the mayhem was over. But being locked in the room had made her hungry and insane. Miss Delight consumed all of the teachers locked in the room with her, becoming one of the creepiest and oldest toys in Poppy Playtime. One toy that comes close to the horrors of Miss Delight is Boxy Boo, a giant box that was a commercial flop but turned into Playtime's most dangerous tool. With large teeth and an even larger head, Boxy Boo was trained to feast on human flesh by Sawyer himself. 18 years after Boxy Boo's creation, Playtime sales were still going under, and that's when they launched Huggy Wuggy, a plushy blue toy with button eyes. Quickly after, Kissy Missy was launched as Huggy Wuggy's female counterpart, gaining popularity among kids. Though all was going a bit too well for Playtime Co., the kids loved Huggy Wuggy, which skyrocketed the company's sales. By this time, they had enough toys to become the top toy manufacturers while keeping the shady business under wraps, all while the prototype was locked up, scheming in his cell. The Playtime company almost got away with it, until Rowan Stoll took it upon himself to investigate what Playtime was up to. Stoll was suspicious that Huggy Wuggy's eyes had cameras installed in them, watching over children at all times.
If some creep is hiding nanny cams in our mascot's eyeballs, then it's something that needs to be taken seriously. You know, something dangerous is going on, and I'm sure it wasn't on purpose. I'm sure it was just some big mistake, but I saw what I saw.
To prove he was right, Stoll recorded himself revealing the dark secrets of Playtime Co. His efforts were heroic, but Sawyer knew there was a mole in the company. As a result, he turned Stoll into Boxy Boo's lunch and pushed the Bigger Bodies initiative. This meant that the company would go in to create larger toys solely for the purpose of cutting down labor costs. The Bigger Bodies initiative led to the creation of Mommy Longlegs in 1990. The stretchable pink toy was presumably made from an orphan, Marie Payne. Marie had a friendly attitude towards children, but despised the staff. Marie was often found displaying violent behavior to those she did not like. Mommy Longlegs was good at her job, which only gave Sawyer the confidence to continue building toys out of orphans. Next up was Catnap, a sleep-inducing cat who was once known as Theodore Grambel. Along with Catnap, Playtime launched a whole line of plush toys called the Smiling Critters, each made from a different orphan. But Catnap was different from the rest. He was friends with one of the most powerful toys to appear in Playtime. Like every other Bigger Bodies toy, Catnap also had a job, which was to put children to sleep using his red gas. But Catnap's loyalty lay elsewhere. Before turning into a toy, Theodore had an imaginary friend he drew as a skeletal arm. This was later confirmed to be the prototype, who instructed him to sabotage the company. While doing just that, Theodore injured himself and got caught and eventually met his fate, which was turned into Catnap. This is where things started going haywire for Playtime Co. The 90s was a difficult time for the company, as the prototype incited the toys to cause damage in Playtime, starting with Huggy Wuggy. 1992 was the first time when toys gave Playtime employees a scare. The prototype manipulated Huggy Wuggy into escaping the company, which led to the death of several employees. As a result, the blue plush toy was sedated. These events didn't end here. Fast forward to 1994, when parents complained of Catnap emitting a strange red smoke out of his mouth, which forced Playtime to halt Catnap production. This shady event caused suspicion among the parents, but soon, everyone forgot about the purple plush. These events would reach a boiling point in 1995 and bring us to the devastating Hour of Joy. This event was triggered by the prototype, who turned all of the toys back on their creators. A bloodbath unfolded within the company as toys caught the employees and ate them alive. With Miss Delight eating the dead bodies and the rest of the toys feasting on humans, the orphanage had turned into a slaughterhouse. This event would nip the Bigger Bodies initiative in the bud, leading to the events of the game in 2005. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the Poppy Playtime timeline. Extra points if you can answer this. Why did the prototype keep Poppy safe during the Hour of Joy? Let us know your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Playtime content.